what is an essential film and why do we think they're essential?
If you look at our list, the best films, the ones that stand the test of time, are ones with strong directors.
Right,
I mean, they really are auteurs.
Some of the movies that we picked, when you look at them, have directors that are not that well acknowledged. There are a lot of those people out there, besides the famous ones, that did great work.
I want to be honest with you, Todd. I want more. Everything. Maybe too much.
Now, Robert, you have to get rid of any expectations of psychological realism or nuance in exposition. This is Douglas Sirk, and he goes whole hog with the melodrama, and it's even more artificial than some of the others because of Lana Turner. I mean, she is so artificial as an actress.
I think she was wonderful early on.
Yeah.
When she was more natural and younger and everything like that.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous in this, though.
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
But he uses her, like Hitchcock, but in a slightly different way. He uses actors sometimes emblematically. Not so much for psychological realism, but for something they represent. This is a sort of strange idea that this white woman and black woman would have a household together, but each of them has a child. And Juanita Moore becomes a sort of black maid to her, and it's really all about racial discrimination. And what could be more white than blonde, pale Lana Turner? It's like
in a white dress at the party, yes.
This is like the mistress race. I think he really loves this color contrast in the two of them. I think that's part of the scheme when color represents psychology almost.
Annie, don't be upset. Children are always pretending. You know that.
No. It's a sin to be ashamed of what you are. And it's even worse to pretend, to lie. Sarah Jane has to learn that the Lord must have had his reasons for making some of us white and some of us black.
It's also interesting because of the history behind it. I mean, Lana Turner at this point had just gone through this horrendous scandal in which her daughter had killed her lover, and it was on the front pages, and everybody thought it was going to kind of kill Lana Turner's career because that kind of scandal did kill careers in those days. And she did this film for very little money and a very big percentage, and it turned out to be this enormous success.
Well, you know, this is from a Fannie Hurst novel who wrote Backstreet, as a matter of fact. And she was a real believer in women's rights and women's progress. She said women should not be in the business of gold digging. In fact, in the movie, Lana Turner has more ambition than poor John Gavin. By the way, why didn't he ever become a star? I like John Gavin.
Yeah, he was good. He's also very good in Psycho. And then he got very much into politics,
right.
you know, and all of that. And I think that's he's a very bright man. My favorite part in the whole movie is when Lana Turner is an actress and always having, I guess she's in a lot of comedies and things like that. She decides to go drama, get very dramatic. So the curtain opens and Lana is taking her curtain call and she's got a black turtleneck sweater on. That meant drama.
Another scene that I really love, I think all women have to respond to, when she's a little girl, the little black daughter has gone to school. Juanita Moore comes in to bring her boots.
Can I do something for you?
Sorry to trouble you, miss, but I brought these for my little girl.
I'm afraid you made a mistake. I don't have any little colored girl in my class.
Why, there's Sarah Jane. There's my baby.
You mean Sarah Jane Johnson?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Mrs. Johnson.
At least every woman that I know has had a moment where her mother comes on the scene, and you're just mortified.
Sarah Jane, baby, I brought you yours.
I think that is just a great, great scene.
Well, it's a very interesting film. I'm glad we picked it.
Yep, me too.
Okay, let's have a look. Here's this week's Essential, a movie with Sandra Dee, Robert Alda, and Mahalia Jackson from 1959, Imitation of Life. When people talk about this film, one thing that they always ask is whatever happened to Susan Kohner. She's a great friend of both of ours. Tell what happened to Susan Conner.
Well, she's wonderful in this, and the way she's, you know her, she's such a lady, but the way she loosens up, and she's a wild woman here. And she got married, had 2 children.
To John Weitz.
To John Weitz.
Famous fashion designer.
Famous fashion designer, and had 2 children who are now brilliant successes in the movie industry, Paul and
Chris Weitz.
Chris Weitz.
Right, who made About a Boy, Good Company, American Pie, etc.
And have an interesting political film coming up.
Yeah.
One of the things that Sarek is known for is his use of mirrors and furnishings. I mean, there's all these shots of mirrors and windows. It's as if the vanity or the narcissism of the characters being reflected back on them. And one of the things here, too, is how selfish Lana Turner is, even at the end when Juanita Moore is dying. And what does Turner say? What's going to happen to me? You're leaving me. I mean, this selfishness, and that house they live in Connecticut, this is like the original McMansion, I think. This is huge stone fireplaces.
Lana never did things in a small way. That's why we love Lana Turner. Yeah. Have a look at what we have coming up next week on The Essentials.